Good evening, students. This is Dr. Maushmi Paul from LBSM College, Jamshedpur. Today we are going to study a poem by Kamla Das, The Old Playhouse. It is in the syllabus of Semester 5, DSE 1A paper, Indian Writing in English. Already we have covered 4 more poems of this paper in my earlier 4 video uploads, and this is my 6th online video. Although we can see in this period of crisis, there is no other option of classroom studies. So hopefully through this process of online video tutorials, we can at least help the students to complete their syllabus, and through this process of academics, hopefully the students may access to these videos and complete and prepare their notes and studies. So, The Old Playhouse. So, The Old Playhouse, selected from the book of the same title, The Old Playhouse and Other Poems, published in the year 1973, deals with Kamla Das. Recurrent theme of failure and frustration in love and marriage. It describes and elaborates on the plight of the housewife who feels that her egocentric and male chauvinist husband thinks only of his own interests, desires, and expectations, and has virtually reduced her passionate, desiring, and aspiring self to a mere entertaining tool or toy. This results in her frustration and anger as she experiences her own stifled and crippled spirit, helpless in protest or rebellion. Her mind is pathetically transformed into an old playhouse with all its lights put out, suggestive, vivid, and concrete imagery, enhanced by imaginative symbolism, make this individual's suffering a generic experience, an experience of the tribe. This is only a representation of the malaise affecting middle class Indian society. So now I will read the poem line by line. Pay attention, students, and while I will read the poem, you pay attention and hold your books in your hand so that you can follow the lines with me. The Old Playhouse. You planned to tame a swallow, to hold her in the long summer of your love, so that she would forget not the raw seasons alone and the homes left behind, but also her nature, the urge to fly, and the endless pathways of the sky? It was not to gather knowledge of yet another man that I came to you, but to learn what I was, and by learning to learn to grow. But every lesson you gave was about yourself. You were pleased with my body's response, its weather, its usual shallow convulsions. You dribbled spittle into my mouth. You poured yourself into every nook and cranny. You embalmed my poor lust with your bittersweet juices. You called me wife. I was taught to break saccharine into your tea and to offer at the right moment the vitamins cowering beneath your monstrous ego. I ate the magic loaf and became a dwarf. I lost my will and reason to all your questions. I mumbled incoherent replies. The summer begins to pall. I remember the ruder breezes of the fall and the smoke from burning leaves. Your room is always lit by artificial lights. Your windows always shut. Even the air conditioner helps so little. All pervasive is the male scent of your breath. The cut flowers in the vases have begun to smell of human sweat. There is no more singing, no more dance, My mind is an old playhouse with all its lights put out. The strong man's technique is always the same. He serves his love in little doses, for love is Narcissus at the water's edge, haunted by its own lonely face, and yet it must seek at last an end, a pure, total freedom. It must will the mirrors to shatter and the kind night to erase the water. Now, what is the subject matter and theme of the poem? Now, this poem focuses on the relationship between husband and wife, a man and a woman, the treatment of a husband towards his wife. So, this relationship between man and this character, the wife, husband and wife, marriage, far from satisfactory. Operation of the wife by her husband as he seeks to confine her and tame her. The bird, a swallow, a bird, and the husband is taming his wife. He is the one who controls the character, his wife, so much so that the character, the wife, would even forget her identity and her personality. Loss of identity in marriage, power of hierarchy within marriage can also be mentioned, although the student should explain that there seems to be power play involved. Evidence is seen because the character cowers beneath the husband's monstrous ego. Here the word cowers, lower the body, means crouch in fear before the giant monstrous ego of the husband. Love as a selfish emotion, man needing to love himself and forcing the other to be him, to reflect him, erasing her personality. Here her personality means the personality of the wife. Wanting to be in control, domineering personality. Now the control. Who is dominating? The husband is dominating. And the cowering personality is the personality of the wife before the giant monstrous ego of her husband. In every facet of the persona's life, in every nook and cranny. Now here, nook and cranny, the two terms we can see. Inside corner, cranny, the small crack or hole. The chauvinistic male figure where the persona is taught to serve him and to please him. Her desires are forgotten, her likes, dislikes, no matters. What she wanted to learn by learning, to grow is not taught. Rather, he teaches her what he wants her to be, losing her own self-identity. Self-centered in giving himself pleasure, self-serving. To tame a free bird, that is there, you can see in the first lines. You plan to tame a swallow, to hold her in the long summer of your love, so that she would forget not the raw seasons alone and the homes left behind, but also her nature, the urge to fly and the endless pathways of the sky. Taming the bird and not letting it free, and not the raw seasons this in its real form, and the home she has left behind to come to her husband's house, and her real nature, her strong desire to fly, and the endless pathways of the sky. So here the first lines. Hold such a creature that needs space. Hold too little space to move. That is the fearful person, the monstrous ego, especially seen in relation to the character who is a dwarf. The cowering personality becomes and feels so small before the other person. one who cowers. Visually, the husband might take on giant proportions, while the character, the wife, seems to shrink. The husband doles out love in lethal doses, that he gives out poison and is thus dangerous. Here, lethal doses, the small doses that will cause death. Perhaps he abuses her, but the student should note that this is not taken for a given but is only suggestive. The word weathers, here you can see weathers, changing emotion of the character that might lead to shallow convulsions of crying. Shallow convulsions of crying here. Shallow means less depth. Convulsions, it is a violent, irregular movement of body caused by contraction of muscles. Crude, forceful. To dribble, spittle means flow drop by drop. Spittle, spit. It is probable that the act of kissing is painted in a disgusting manner. The act of lovemaking is also seen as an embalming experience. The lust is poor lust, and what he pours into her is bitter, sweet juices. So here, embalming, B-E-M-B-A-L-M-I-N-G. Here, embalming means to prevent a corpse, a dead body, from decaying by using spices and chemicals. So the act of lovemaking is also seen as an embalming experience. The lust is poor lust, and what he pours into her is a bittersweet juices. Not loving, master-servant relationship. Take note of evidence that states the husband seems to have control, who is the one who gets taught to perform chores. Chores, the regular work that was assigned to a wife. Not a real marriage, perhaps, linking it to the idea of the artificial playhouse, where it is only a mere depiction of life. Now here, the doll's playhouse, that is a playhouse where it is old, the lights were put out. So here it is a sadistic word, we can say. The characters and roles that the protagonist has to take on, assume, although it isn't truly her. She is taught and becomes a dwarf. The character doesn't seem to embrace the idea of being a wife, seeming to be a wife in nothing but in name, thus taking on a role to be called, but character doesn't. She is his wife. Doesn't seem proud of that fact. Similar to acting a role, thus the entire marriage is a shame, an act. Thus the similarity to a playhouse for his entertainment. Old because unlike a playhouse that serves to entertain and is most probably lively, we see that there isn't happiness nor is it fun. The similarity between being his domain, the room, the space which adheres where there is no freedom, and like playhouse, lights are artificial. You can follow the lines between 10 to 15. We have the lines. Yourself into every nook and cranny you embalmed my poor lust with your bittersweet juices. You called me wife. I was taught to break saccharine into your tea and to offer at the right moment the vitamins. Cowering beneath your monstrous ego, I ate the magic loaf and became a dwarf. So here, I was taught to break saccharine and I was taught to give vitamins in regular days. So these are the domestic chores that has been taught. So she was not proud of the fact. It is not fun. Nature in the room, the flowers are also a mockery of real nature in the real world. What goes on a playhouse drama is a mere representation of real life. Her marriage is not real, more like a prison, being mummified in marriage, being constrained, some form of living death. To be embalmed is a process done when one is dead, and is saying that the husband preserves the body of the wife. And a mummy is but a mere reflection of former living self. The persona, the character, the protagonist is also not herself. We see that she has been taught to forget all her natural self. Room as marriage, but a room that is confined. The room is all about the husband, pervasive, just like scent fills the room. The cut flowers of the vases have begun to smell of human sweat. There is no more singing, no more dance. My mind is an old playhouse with all its lights put out. The strong man's technique is, we will continue that. Hear the words, mumbled, incoherent replies, means speaking indistinctively, all pervasive, tending to spread through the room where it's only the male scent of the protagonist husband is there. So these are some words that signifies here the hierarchy, that signifies here the male chauvinistic kind. So room as a marriage, but a room that is confined. The room is all about the husband, pervasive, just like scent fills the room and is pervasive. From the smell of flowers to the breath, persona as swallow. Bird is free, but one that is tamed, domesticated. Pet is one that is confined in narrow boundaries, limited. So here, legend of a guy fell into water, too much in love with self, only wants to see himself and to be with himself only. You can go through the lines between 26 to end. Can be inferred by the name Narcissus, narcissistic here. So here, student should be able to at least infer the idea of reflection, wanting to see himself, a mirror, water's edge, haunted by its own lovely face. But if the students do not know who Narcissus is, saying he is an it, or take it to be an emotion. So narcissism should be accepted also. The husband seems to love himself only, thus forcing the personal to be like him, to teach her all that he is, and not allowing her to grow, destroying even the very thing that reflects Narcissus, to shatter the mirror, the idea that the persona, the character will be destroyed in the end. So the strong man's technique is always the same. He serves his love in little doses, for love is Narcissus at the water's edge, haunted by its own lonely face, and yet it must seek at last an end, a pure, a total freedom. It must will the mirrors to shatter and the kind night to erase the water. So here, the idea that the character, the protagonist, will be destroyed in the end, nor the Narcissus. So it is, according to the Greek legend, a Greek youth who fell obsessively in love with his own image reflected in a fountain, thinking it to be the nymph of the place. His fruitless attempts to approach this beautiful object drove him to despair and death. So, the word narcissism means the sexual gratification found in one's own body. So, the Greek myth symbolizes the fall on account of excessive and obsessive self-love. Here, this term has been very much relevant to the protagonist's husband, who was defined by the term narcissism. The lethal love between the husband and the wife is sure to lead to a destructive end. The women, however, would like to strive against this self-destructive aspect of love and treat it as self-realizing agent, winning over the false mirrored image of love. So resentful sees husband as scheming, planned to tame a swallow, and as a cruel man trying to make her forget her nature. Resigned, we do not see the personal trying to break away from her husband. Seemingly powerless, she replies to all questions he wants, and the idea of was taught past tense, perhaps showing that she has learned and come to accept it. The idea comes mainly from COWERS, covers. If one is afraid, weathers changing emotion of the character that might lead to shallow convulsions of crying. Seen in this context of being confined, abuse of some sort seems highly probable. Embellishment lines runs on lines. The effect is to highlight the words that comes immediately after the break. Some examples are yourself, highlighting self-centeredness, beneath, to show that the character is beneath or under control. The technique is always a procedure that happens all the time. The break in the poem, the first verse, is a lot longer, and the word technique is act as a break. This causes us to know the word, and we can say it as a practice or system of strongmen, reinforcing an idea of possible cruelty. It is odd that there should be procedure in marriage, reinforcing the detached one. The first verse is a lot longer, reminiscent of the monstrous husband figure and the dwarf-like wife, one who is beneath and cowers before the husband. So, structurally it reflects quite similar to concrete poetry. And the idea that the verses not equal, you can see the lines, like the character is not equal to husband, so it is also symbolic. So you can see this imagery and the structure. Very interesting poem, very thoughtful poem, and some are very important questions, direct questions you can prepare for this poem. What did the husband plan to do? What was the woman's intention in marrying the man? What role did the woman play in his life, and how did she become a dwarf? In what way does love act like a narcissus with meaning? You can explain the word. So you can also explain to tame a swallow and old playhouse with all its lights put out, little doses. So these are some important explanations that you can prepare for your exams. Thank you, students, for watching.